Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Paul K. Dunn, owner advisor at J and Sons Cash Flow Advisors. Today's topic is going to be how to buy cryptocurrency risk free. And first, I want to apologize because I've just recently found out that my video was cut at about 6 minutes. I had far more information on there for everyone. And I went to help someone get access to the video, and then I go back in there, and it only uploaded 6 minutes of the entire video, so I have to do the whole thing over because we've somehow been cut. I got rid of it after I uploaded it. So I have to redo this, but I want to just apologize for everyone who got that video. You were probably geared up for some good information, and then it cut off on you abruptly. So since I haven't had any messages or anything to let me know that, I just had to sort of find out on my own. But today we're going to go through that process all over again and just make sure that you get the information I was trying to get across to you. Okay, so today's topic about investing risk free in cryptocurrency. First, what we want to do is we want to separate this terminology because a lot of people will call cryptocurrency Bitcoin out of lack of understanding as to what it is. Okay, cryptocurrency itself is not Bitcoin. So when you say you're investing in cryptocurrency, it's completely different to when you say I'm investing in Bitcoin. If you're investing in Bitcoin specifically, then what will happen is your money will be going directly into Bitcoin. Okay, when you say I invest in cryptocurrency, your money could be going into any one of the thousands of coins that have been created. Okay, so there's two types of coins. Okay, there's an actual coin. Okay, there's an actual coin, which which in most cases will allow you to convert back to USD. That's usually been the difference at this point, is that you can convert it back to USD directly. And then the other side of that is tokens. So tokens, generally, you have to convert them to a coin. You have to convert a token back to a coin, also known as tokens are also known as altcoins. So altcoins and tokens, you have to convert back to some of the main coins that are being converted back to USD. So it has to go back to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, in some cases Bitcoin Cash. So at this point, you can really get the understanding that there's a breakdown of what this industry is. Okay, and just to understand that better will help you in a lot of different ways. Okay. Alrighty. Now, what's next for us to understand is how we here at Jay and Sons determine an investment. If you understand investing and you understand it from the point of view of Warren Buffett, who looks for intrinsic value, then you understand that there has to be something really important about a company or about a movement that will allow it to have some sort of value. The value is how much people are willing to pay for it. Okay, intrinsic value is really, to me, in my definition, is really the people behind the scenes. So in order to understand investing, you have to know that you're investing with intrinsic value and you're not investing because you're guessing which thing is going to go up based on some other unknown factors. It's going to be very difficult for you to continue to win in this market. Once these amounts get to a certain level, it's going to be very difficult. The same way it is for you today in the stock market. It's going to be very difficult for you to produce cash and for you to win in the market. And if you start investing without intrinsic value and just going on guesses or what people are telling you and you're not doing your homework on the actual company, you're going to have some problems later down the track. So what we want to teach you is how to do this thing risk free. And so having an understanding of intrinsic value is going to make all of the difference. So what we normally do is on BitMarket, which is one of the coin market cap, sorry, is the main tracker of all things cryptocurrency. They track majority companies and coins that are launched and have been launched, and they keep all of the information in one spot. So you can literally go here and find out about any of the coins that they list. We tend to stay around the top 10 and the top 20, and we do that based on the information we get. Now, I highly recommend that when you choose a coin, you choose it because there is something about the company or something about their movement that you are passionate about. Okay, so we've chosen BitConnect here, and we know that a lot of people are being drawn to BitConnect because of the lending form, where they promise you a return on a daily basis. So a lot of people are getting into here because they're seeing other people make money, but they're not really understanding why those people are making money. So what happens is you're going to get BitConnect is a platform where the person who invited you gets a commission for you putting money in, and then also you as your own investor or own lender, you get a daily percentage that they promise you if all things go well. And that percentage is what adds up to people's daily, I would say, payout or weekly payout, monthly payout. So this platform has become very popular simply because it's saying you can put money in, and just like a bank, we will, because you've lent us that money, we're going to give you a return on your investment on a daily basis, but we're going to hold your money just like they would do at a bank if you put it in a CD or in a term deposit. We're going to hold it for a certain amount of time, and then we're going to pay you the interest on a daily basis. Okay, and then we will return that back to you at the end. Okay, so that's why a lot of people join this, because they see other people putting money in and getting money back out. And some people are putting 10, 20, and 30,000 in, and then they're making a very substantial income back on that money on a monthly basis. And so this brings us to our next educational point, is that no matter where you are, who you are, if you are an investor, you have to then go and check out the intrinsic value of what you're doing. So that idea of being paid a daily interest just like a bank is attractive when you're talking about making money. How we would go and check out the intrinsic value is we would then go and do research based on how much it costs to buy and the total process of the BitConnect system. And so we're going to publish a video in our group, in our Facebook group, that will let you know how that all works. Okay, and it's a very intelligent layout of how the system works. Do not mind the title. Honestly, I don't like scaring people. A lot of people who speak scam, Ponzi scheme, pyramid scheme, a lot of them are uneducated when they're calling those titles out for different programs. There's a lot of programs that may be set up in a similar fashion and cannot be judged just based on what a few people are doing, or just based on preconceptions of what people think a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid scheme or a scam is. You have to dive into the actual company. You have to go in and make sure you do your research on how the company is structured, how it works, and how you're getting paid, or how your investment will return back to you. Once you have all of those factors in place, if you can make an educated decision at that point, it's go ahead, it's green light. The risk will come with the reward. It's not a problem from that point. So we've chosen BitConnect because it's very popular right now. We got a lot of different We got a lot of different angles on it. Some people are in here winning, and some people are skeptical about moving forward. So we want to educate you on that and let you make the best decision for you. Okay, so that brings us to that point of just having intrinsic value. So if you know what a company does and you're passionate behind what they're trying to do in the future, that could really, based on their price, that could determine long-term value for you. So here's an alternative. Okay, so BitConnect is one of the coins that you can choose, um, which we would say is a little bit more on the high side. The reason we know it's on the high side, let's just compare it this way. To buy stock in Disney, for one stock, it would cost you $108. To buy one coin in BitConnect, even though it's slightly different due to the technology. This technology means that you do not have to buy the whole coin, but this is how we can determine price factor. To buy an entire stock in Disney, you would pay $108. To buy stock in BitConnect, pretty much the same thing. You would, in order to get a whole coin, you would have to spend $396 for one coin. Okay, so that sort of tells us where the market is. And so even further out, um, even further out in the process, you can see the massive difference when you look at that versus where we are here with actual Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin right now is just crazy. So $17,000 for one coin, but because you can buy into it, it's a little bit of a different system. But this lets us know, because of its value for one, it lets us know that it's pretty high up in the market and not too much is trading like this. At this point, it can still go higher. I'll give you another idea there. Warren Buffett, to buy one of his stock in his company, is over $200,000 just for one. So it's not to say that it can't go higher. It absolutely can, but it's going to take consistent trust and belief for this to keep going up the way it does. That's why you have to be in it for intrinsic value. This will bring us to our next point. Let's go to a coin that we do recommend because of where it is in the market. Okay, so here, this is a coin worth 58 cents. Now, this is much easier for someone to get in on the ground floor and to take this long term because of its price point. You want to find things that you can afford, part one, to have a whole bunch of coins. If you're investing for the long term and you want to become a crypto investor that turns into a millionaire later down the track, if you want to make short term money, it's honestly not going to matter which coin you choose. If you believe in what they're doing, you can buy into the coin with whatever you can afford. Very important, whatever you can afford, and then you can watch the gains or the losses on your own as you hold that coin. That's truly your call. Okay, but there's really no way to determine this market. There's no way to say what's going to drive the price up and what's going to make it pull back. We can all guess, but no one really knows. Okay, because it's a different animal. It's tied in. It's almost like two industries in one. You have the stock market, which operates the way it does, and you have the internet technology, which operates the way it does, and you've combined the two into a financial product, and a financial product operates the way it does. Okay, so you got all of these things in there, and this is more of the reason why you want to be educated. So, our final factor, we're going to have some fun, and we're just going to show you how investing correctly with what you can afford, with your liquid cash, with whatever you have extra that you were going to spend elsewhere anyway. We're going to take that money and we're going to show you what could have happened in the past so that you can see what you can put together for the future. Okay. So what we want to take is, we actually want to use BitConnect for this because the price has come up so high. So a lot of people have invested for over 299 days, which is almost a year. It's about 9 months. okay, in BitConnect. Once you give them your money, they hold it for 299 days, and then they promise you 1% a day, or maybe sometimes higher if you put in more money. You can get paid out, but they hold your money for 299 days. We just want to go back for about 70 days, or 3 months, close to 3 months, or whatever that's going to be. I would say it's 70 days. We took a number at 70 days where it would take 70 days to double your money. So we want to go back a couple of months and show you how, instead of buying a $1,000 TV, how you could have been a crypto investor and potentially made millions by doing so, okay? By keeping your eyes open for opportunity and learning how to do it risk-free, okay? So risk-free means that you're not risking your important money. You're not risking your entire accounts. We're seeing people liquidating their 401ks and adding extra mortgages, and we're cautioning them that we really hope that you can afford to lose it all when you do that. You can afford to pay that mortgage on a monthly basis, and you're okay paying that back once you take it out. If everything disappeared, how would you feel? If the answer is you would be devastated and you wouldn't know what to do and you'd have to live on the street, it's probably highly likely that you're investing too much and it's not necessary. Okay. So here's what we'll do. So what we'll do is we'll go back, and I wanted to go back to May because this is really a good price point for us. We look at May 2017. The price for BitConnect was $8.05. So what we want to do is take our trusty calculator, and we're gonna do $1,000. So we'll say, instead of buying that $1,000 TV that you were gonna buy anyway, and waste your money on that move, you said, man, this thing looks like, it can go up here. We have some movement. So this is what you picked. Now I'm using this as an example, but I haven't picked this company as an investment. But I'm using it as an example because you can really do this with any one of the coins. So you take that $1,000 and you divide that by $8. And what's going to happen is show you how many coins you get. So you should see 125 coins from that. And so that's how many coins you have. And you say, listen, instead of buying a TV, I'm good. I'm just going to watch this thing move. And we'll see what happens over the next 3 months. We just want to sit still. No matter what it's doing, we won't get excited. We just want to sit still and see what it does, because we've already put money in there that we don't mind losing. So let's just map out a 3-month period. So that's about 70 days. I mean, 40, let's say 24, 48 days is 2 months. So yeah, that's about 3 months. So we go from May, June, and July. So at about July, we want to see where we are. So July, BitConnect was about 78 bucks. Now at the moment, you have 125 coins. So you take your 125 and you put that $78 per coin, and instantly you've turned 1,000 into 9,750. Here's where the clues come in. Here's where the professional investor says, man, it did what? It made me how much? Professional investors, savvy people who move based on principle, the Warren Buffetts, okay? The Ray Dalios, the people who invest based on principle. My investment really just went up by 8 times, okay? I should be happy with that. So what we'll do is we're going to remove all of it and reinvest it right now. Okay, so we take out 9,750. Okay, and then instead of spending it all back, we're gonna buy some coins. Now we had 125 coins before. Okay, so let's see how much 25 coins will cost us. We have 9,000 now in the bank. We've liquidated, cashed out. We have 9,000 now in the bank. Okay. Last time we invested 1,000, so that money's back in our bank. We're now risk-free as long as we don't kill it. Okay. So we go back in the market, and let's say instead of 125 coins, because the price is more right now, we really only want to do 75 coins. So we put the 75 coins back in the market. We pay $5,800, push that back into the market at $78 per coin. But now you have 75 coins. Okay? 75 coins. You had a profit of about $4,000, $3,000 at this point. You leave the rest in and you sit. Okay? So if you would have waited and said, man, I'm not touching this thing till Christmas comes, and you come to December, and then you're watching your markets, and you say, listen, this thing here, I don't even want to risk it. Just for whatever day or whatever reason, if I can get this thing to stay right at that top, right there. This thing was $424 on December 7th. So you're watching the market every day. You're just looking at it to see where the numbers are going. And for some strange strike of luck, you found it at 424, and you said this is the time to cash out them 75 coins. So you cash out 75 coins now at the price of 474 per coin. Look what you did. Look what's happened. Okay, you've taken a $5,000 investment, okay, and you flipped it into 35. And this is where smart investors come in again. Listen, I don't care how high this thing is going from this point. You're risk free here. Your $1,000 is already in your bank with profit. You've now flipped it again into 35. Okay, there is zero risk here. Once you do this, this is it. If you wanted to just leave $5,000 in the market, you could. You could say, listen, I had 75 coins. I'm only going to pull out 25. Right? Cool. Whatever you want to do. Me, as a savvy investor, I don't know where this market is going. I can't tell what's going to kill this profit. If you look at the chart, if you look at the way the chart runs, it dropped and it hasn't been back. Now, it could go back up. It could not go back up. It's totally up to you what you want to do at this point. What I would do is I would take it all out and go back to that smaller coin we were talking about, and I would put 5 grand in that coin and 5 grand in another smaller coin. And because I see this price point at 494, I'm going to let this one go. I'm going to let this one ride, because at this point, I can become a millionaire. I've already made a year's worth of income. I can become a millionaire by being smart at this point. But this is what's happening to people. So there is no risk unless you're risking your entire account when the numbers become too high and you're putting so much in to try to make a gain because the numbers are so high that you can't afford to put in what you're actually putting in. If you would have followed this pattern, this trend, the way that we just followed it, you tell me who can take $1,000 and turn it into 35,000. And it's really more, because you took out about 3,000 to 4,000 in profit already. It's really more. Who can do that? This is why so many people are excited. But this will also blind you, and this will kick you in the teeth if you wait till these numbers get really high, and then majority of the people in have no more use for the platform because it's reached its peak. Right? Every item reaches its peak. It's called a trend. Every company, every anything will reach its peak at some point. So if you don't know the intrinsic value behind it, if you can't look at it at $400 and say, well, look, these people are trying to change the world, I believe in it, so I'm going to take out my 25 grand and I'm going to leave the other 15 grand just sitting there, and I'm just going to let it chill. I'll take out 25. I will put 5 in a smaller coin, and just let that be it. And we ride this thing for the next year. If you don't believe in a company that way based on what they're doing, then you just get out. You take your winnings and you move on. Okay? If you want to go back into the market, I highly recommend you start looking at smaller coins that are trying to solve big problems. They're trying to scale this thing. They're trying to make sure it stays functional, that it can serve people. It's less fees and not more fees than bank. Those are the things that we're following. So anything you're passionate about, you could literally type it into Google, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a coin for it. Or you could just stick with some of the main coins and say, well, look, I think these people will be better. I think Litecoin running China will be better over the long run than Bitcoin. So I'm going to move that profit over to Litecoin. This is where you become an investor. Then you start to go and research and listen to professionals who are interested in information. They go and they get those things. They will help you feel more confident. So this is how you invest risk-free. And we won't do any more because I want to keep this video short, but I wanted to make sure that you could see one example. All we have to tell you is that this was a short example with $1,000 and based on a coin that was somewhere at the $7 mark. I just want you to imagine someone who had $5,000 of liquid cash that they were probably saving for a car or a motorcycle or a down payment on a home. Instead, they just went to live with their parents and said, I'm just going to use this $5,000 to buy a coin that's worth something like 71 cents. And then all of a sudden you've bought so many coins and that thing turns into $400. You know what? We're gonna do that exercise just so you can see the numbers. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm just gonna do from inception. Somebody who's just is extremely patient through any kind of markup, and they know which number they're looking for. So this person in mind, he said, look, I believe in this company. When this company gets to $400, I'm out no matter what's going on. Okay. So they bought that coin. So they said, look, I got $5,000 to spend. I'm going to buy this coin right now at 71 cents. Okay. And we will show you where that was. So I think it was down here in where, closer to February this year, February 13th this year. This is only a 1-year chart. This is all 2017. February 13th of this year. This is why people are so excited. I'm going to place 5,000 in here. Not only am I going to invest in BitConnect and let them give me returns, but I'm going to buy their coin and hold it so that I can trade it later. Okay. And this is why I'm urging some people to look into that option as well. Okay. So $5,000 at 71 cents will give you 7,000 coins. Just get ready for this number. We're only going to liquidate. I'm only going to liquidate 5,000 coins. I'm going to leave 2,000 in. So we have 5,000 coins to liquidate at the price of $424. I'm now liquidating 5,000 coins. This is no longer $5,000. I've already invested that. This is 5,000 coins at 424. Right here. That mark is really hard to get. That's called a peak mark. 424. It's not even the whole game, but 424. Look what happened to the 5,000. Tell me where the risk is. Somebody help me see how the risk versus reward is going to turn this person who just watched this happen before their eyes. They literally became a millionaire from February to October on $5,000 investment and did nothing. Watched a company do all the work, stayed still, knew where their exit point was, waited for it, believed in a company and said, I'm out. I don't care what's going on at this price. If it hit here, no matter when it hits there, when it hit there, that's when I'm out. And if I see signs that we're gonna crash, I'm gonna let that $5,000 die. I'm not gonna exit the market. So it's either $400 per coin or it's nothing. To me, that's a risk-free investment because that $5,000 is not missed. Their income could have been $10,000 a month. Their income could have been $7,000 a month. Their expenses could have left them with extra money to spend on a monthly basis. You never know what people's positions are, but just because you see people pouring money into a market and winning, and you don't understand what that market is value-wise, or you don't understand where the value is coming from, it really doesn't matter. No one cares. Okay, when you see something like this happen, it changes. It changes who you are. It changes your belief about the whole system. This is what happens when you understand investing. This is what happens when you luck up on something early enough. And unfortunately, today, a lot of the really good investments, the average people are locked out of them. And so to have something like this just really come out of nowhere and make so many people money out of nowhere, the average person who can't normally invest with the bigger investors and really turn this on their head like this really changes the game for everyone. So in closing, man, I just want to wish you prosperity, abundance, and success in all that you do. Please educate yourselves. This is Paul K. Dunn, and may you have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.